everybody, I'm Mark. Welcome to Mondays with Mark, and we are on Smokey Steve and Mark. Oh, yes we are. How are you doing? Oh my gosh. It's all about the melons tonight. I'm super excited about tonight's episode. We are going to make all kinds of stuff out of watermelon. We're going to make a watermelon cake, a salad, a steak, and I'm going to show you what some of our fellow viewers are doing with their watermelons. So, is your melon swelling? I hope so, because it's Melon Mania tonight on Mondays with Mark. It so is. Admittedly, I am excited about this video. And to get in the spirit, now don't make fun of me, I have my outside tablecloth shirt on. I love this shirt. It's so comfortable. It does look like a tablecloth, though, admittedly. Anyway, but first, let's get some business out of the way. How are you doing? It is really, really nice to see you. It really, really is. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. For those of you who are in the States, I hope you had a great holiday. We had a nice weekend. It was pretty busy, but it was very nice. We did have a nice weekend. You know, I always say I like Mondays with Mark, and I really do, because it's a time where you and I get to just, get caught up, just you and I, spend a little QT together, and hopefully, kind of set the mood to have a nice week, I mean, that's my hope anyway. So it helps me a lot, so. Anyway, I guess really there's no business to talk about. I mean, we already told you, you kind of saw what we did all weekend, and, I don't really have too much else to report. I have a doctor's appointment this evening. I came home a little bit early. I have a doctor's in about an hour. I have a doctor's appointment, so I'll be sure to update you on what he said and where we're going next with all the stuff that I'm dealing with. I'm optimistic. I hope it's going to be good. We'll see. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I don't even want to get into that. So. We'll save that for another video. But anyway, like I said, tonight it's all about watermelons. So over the weekend and earlier today, I came up with some recipes using watermelon, okay? So hopefully you have a watermelon on hand, because we're going to make 3 things from one watermelon, and they are all super, super delicious. So why don't I stop yapping away and let's get into the first one. I made a watermelon cake. Oh yeah, I did. And it's probably not what you're thinking. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, because when I started thinking about coming up with a watermelon cake, I was like, do I make a, regular flour cake, and flavor it watermelon? Do I use real watermelon? How does one come up with a watermelon cake? I've seen recipes for cakes, poke cakes, where they use watermelon jello and put it in there. There was a few things over on the internet, but I hope you like my recipe, because it's kind of guilt-free. But why don't I show you that, and then we'll reconvene afterwards, okay? Alright, so here it is. Watermelon, it's all about the melons. Hey everybody, how are you? It's Melon Mania today on Mondays with Mark. Oh yes it is. It's all things watermelon today, as you can see. So I got all of our stuff all prepped up. We're going to make a watermelon cake. Yep, a watermelon cake. We're going to make a watermelon feta salad, and we're going to do some grilled watermelon steaks too outside on the grill. So, let me get stuff ready for you here. When I was out shopping for watermelons, I was in the produce department, and the produce guy, who I have to say, not too bad to look at, he was walking past and he said, "Hey, those are nice melons." So, of course, I turned around and said, "Why, thank you." Anyway, so what we did was, if you're going to make all 3 of these today, you're going to get 1 whole large watermelon. If we're just going to do, one or the other, get yourself a small watermelon, okay? But for today, we got 1 big, large, juicy, seedless watermelon. And what I did was, I cut the ends of them off, and I set them aside for later use. We're going to make a watermelon cake right now. Oh yeah. So now we have the center of the watermelon just like this. And what we're going to do is trim it up. I'm going to see if I can use this knife. And you don't have to be neat. We're just going to cut the rind off. We'll shape it later. It's no big deal. And a little tip, always have a little trash bag hanging nearby. It saves a lot of time and hassle. It does. So the purpose of this is we're just getting the rind off, and we're going to kind of make a round shape to it because this is going to be the center of our cake. This recipe is fantastic if you're watching, you know, the calories or whatever, because it's pretty much guilt-free, really. But we'll get more into that later. Okay, so now we cut all that off. I should have a towel under that. Okay, so now a little bit more. We want it to be juicy, so try to get as much of the rind and the white part off as you can. And like I said, you don't have to be neat. Doesn't have to be straight. I think that's good. Alright, so now this is going to be the center of our cake. So now at this point you're going to want to put it on your platter or your cake board or whatever you're going to serve it on, okay? I thought this was very appropriate. My beloved wood slice cake pedestal. Love this. And, I mean, how appropriate. I'm not even going to line it because this won't last long. Okay, there we go. So now we're ready to go. So, you'll also need some heavy whipping cream or whipped cream. You certainly could use Cool Whip out of the container, but I prefer to make it myself, and I think it, like, holds up better, so to speak. My favorite, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, is Rich's. I use this pretty much for all of my whipped frosting recipes. I love this stuff. It's Rich's Rich Whip. Whipped topping. It's non-dairy. It tends to be a little more stable for a longer period of time, and it tastes fantastic, okay? If you're getting this size, you're going to need 3. If you're going to get the larger one, just 1, you know. And in addition to that, to add a little bit of sweetness, and to save time, I tried a new product. I got the filled pastry bag by Pillsbury because I wanted pink frosting. Now, I'll explain why I'm using this in a little bit, okay? So, let's get to. So, I put the Rich's in the mixer, mixed it up until soft peaks formed, just like so. If you're using heavy whipping cream, you can do the same thing, but of course you're going to have to add some sugar to it. So, if you're going to use you know, if you're going to use 2 of these sizes here of heavy whipping cream, then you're going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar to it and some vanilla, alright? But for the Rich's, that's all in there, and it is ready to go. Let's get this down here. Let that out. Look at how... I just love this stuff. It tastes so good, too.
What are you going to do? Do something. Yes.
You know what I'm
That's
gonna
right.
do? You know what So now it's as simple as frosting the cake. Just frost it. I did say cake, yes. Frost it like you would, you know, a regular layer cake, just with the whipped topping, alright? There's this great debate. Do you frost the top first, then the sides? Do you frost the sides, then the top? Oh my gosh, it's like an age-old, endless debate. I personally feel it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you by, you know, frosting the entire cake while you're watching me. I'll see you in about a minute, okay? Okay, alright, so, gosh, I did that so fast, my god. Okay, so, we have the whole thing covered, like so, okay? And now, I was telling you about this frosting. So, if you're like me, when you think of dessert, I mean, I like super sweet desserts, and I think dessert has to have, like, well, sweetness to it. Now, of course, watermelon does have a sweetness to it, but not a desserty sweetness. Know what I mean? So anyway, I'm adding some regular, like, buttercream frosting to it, just to accent it and give it that little punch of sweetness. To save time, I did try this new Pillsbury with the frosting already in the bag, but you could use canned frosting or make your own frosting. It's just regular buttercream frosting. And what I'm going to do is, just to add little, you know, little niceness to it, I'm just going to pipe around the bottom, you know, to give it, just to give it a little flair there and make it look pretty. Okay, so, you know, something like that. Now, if you take this frosting, or any canister frosting, pop it in the microwave for 15 seconds, you will have, of course I guess I should put it on, right? Pop it in the microwave for 15 seconds and it'll make like a drizzle for it. And that's what we're going to do. Let me grab it here. There we go. Stop it! Alright, see? So you have that. That was put in the microwave for 15 seconds. And now we're just going to kind of drizzle right around the edges. Like so. Maybe do some on top. Whatever you want to do. Yum. Oh, smells good. Well, anyway, you get the picture. So, we'll complete that all the way around the cake and make it look all pretty. And then, the last finishing touch, fresh picked mint, of course. I'll tell you what, there is nothing like going out into the garden and picking things that you can use for dinner or for dessert or something. And I just went out right before we started doing this video and picked this. Fresh mint. And there you go. This is, we have a pretty much guilt-free watermelon cake. Oh my gosh. Now, just one little tip for you here, okay? This particular recipe, this particular cake, you want to keep everything chilled as much as you can, okay? So as soon as you're done frosting it, pop it in the fridge. Keep it chilled as long as you can. Now, when you start to slice it, some people would ask me, like, when you slice it, won't water form at the bottom, da-da-da? Now, I personally have never had that problem with this, but I tested it, and it didn't do it. But if it does do it for you, remember, keep it chilled, and if you get some water on the bottom, just dab it up with some paper towels, and you will be perfectly fine, okay? Alright, it won't last that long anyway, believe me, when you start to eat it. Oh, it's so good. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Now let's get on to our next one, okay? We're going to make a watermelon feta salad, alright? Let me get set up. Okay, so we're right in the middle of our Melon Mania festivities, right? So, we are going to make today a delicious salad, okay? It's a watermelon feta salad, alright? So, to get started, what I did was I have my watermelon all nice and cubed up. And that is watermelon from a half of a small watermelon, okay? You could probably measure that out to be about 4 cups of cubed watermelon, alright? Now, in this bowl here, we're going to make a really tasty vinaigrette. Now, already in here, I have, I'll just start from the top. We have the juice from 1 lime and the zest from a half of a lime. Okay, get that? So, zest half of it, cut it in half, and then juice the whole thing. There we go. Then I have the juice from a whole lemon and the zest from a half of a lemon as well. And the easiest way to do that is after you zest your lemon, like I did there, get yourself a little strainer and just squeeze it in like that. So again, we have the juice from a whole lemon and a whole lime, and then we have the zest from a half of a lemon and a half a lime. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Alright, so there we go. And that's ready to go. Also in there, I have 1/3 cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and about a teaspoon of fresh minced basil. And we're going to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Okay? And we are going to use 1 whole green onion, sliced thinly, just like so. Again, straight from the garden. Oh my gosh, I got the basil, the onion, the mint, like right before I filmed today. Was so cool. I love going out to the garden and grabbing something and using it right away. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. And we're going to add that right to our vinaigrette, and we're going to give it a whisk. just like so. This is such an easy recipe, and it's so delicious. Just wait till you try it. Perfect. Can you see? I think you can. Okay, so now we have our watermelon, and you guessed it. Get all that yummy goodness in there. Give it a toss. Make sure that all of your watermelon is nice and coated. Now the citrus in here, since this is a citrus vinaigrette, the citrus in here will coat the watermelon, and it will help preserve it a little bit, you know, from turning brown. But again, anything dealing with watermelon, you're going to want to keep it chilled, you know, as much and as long as possible, okay? And notice how the vinaigrette kind of mixes with the liquid from the watermelon. So every once in a while, give it a stir, okay? Now for the final. Half a cup of good feta cheese sprinkled right on top. Go there. And of course, garnish with some fresh basil. And there you have it. My watermelon feta salad. What'd you think? Pretty cool, huh? The cake looks and tastes so good. It really, really does. I mean, I guess essentially it's like fresh watermelon with some cream on it. I mean, really, you know, but it's really cool. We made that cake to take to Steven's parents' house on Sunday for their anniversary, and they liked it. So it was a nice surprise. It's unique, it's kitschy, it's different, it's pretty cool. And the salad, oh man, I think Steven probably ate all of the salad, and it's probably gone, I don't know. But that citrus vinaigrette that goes on it, man, it really bumps up the flavor a lot. So I hope you enjoyed those, and even more than that, I hope you try them out. If you do, let me know what you think, alright? So, now I'm going to share with you some of what our viewers are doing with their watermelons. Oh my gosh. From drinks to food to crafting. So cool. I was like blown away with all of these different things they're doing with it. So let's see, why don't we get that now? Is there anything else I want to talk to you about? No. You know what? This is what we'll do. I'm going to show you what everyone else is doing with their watermelons, and then I think we'll go outside and fire up the grill and maybe make some watermelon steaks. Let's see where we go with this. Alright, check it out. So, Marie M. crocheted watermelon coasters. They look pretty cool. And Ashley M. made hers out of corkboard. Now, this 3D paper craft is from Rob at Instructables. How cool. And Scotty V, he made jack-o'-lanterns out of his. Oh my gosh, these paper plate watermelons are from Ariel S. and Robbie V. And this next one, Dolly U, turned hers into a hand fan. These sun catchers were made from Melissa at Kids Activity Blog. Now, these cake toppers were made by Allie C. I'm so jealous because I should have made them for my cake. Oh well, all is well. I guess we'll just have to do it next time. Let's go make some steak. Ooh, and perfect. Okay, guys, so we're outside. I have the grill fired up, and we're going to make some yummy watermelon steaks. Oh, yeah. All right, so to start, you want to light up your grill, let it heat up to a medium heat, okay? You know, I mean, anywhere between 200 and 300, you'll be good, okay? There you go. Okay, so I have some watermelon already sliced here, 1-inch thick wedges. Just like that. You could do half moons if you want, whatever you want to do, okay? Then I made a very quick marinade, and this marinade is the juice and zest of 1 whole lime, 1/4 cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and about a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Give that a whisk, just like so. And then we are going to brush our watermelons with it, okay? You want to make them nice and, you know, use it all up, okay? Just use it all. Because because this adds a nice burst of flavor to these. If you've never had grilled watermelon before, I urge you to try it. It's very, very delicious, okay? When I first heard about it, I was like, oh, what? Are you kidding me? I'm hooked. It's very, very good. People are grilling everything these days. Ever heard of the cauliflower steaks? Maybe we'll try that next. I'm not totally sold on that yet, but we'll see. I don't know. Alright, so these are pretty generously coated. And now what we're going to do is lay them on our grill. Nice sizzle there. And I got to get the other side of that one. Ooh, I can smell it. Okay. Add a little more on top of these here. Okay, perfect. So, now we're going to let them grill for 1.5 to 2 minutes on a medium heat, or medium flame, whatever you want to call it, on each side, okay? And I'll see you as soon as I flip them, alright? Alright. Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Alright, so they're about ready to go. Like, So you kind of see how it's like caramelizing, like the honey will get like that. And you want, in my opinion, get some dark marks on there like you would a steak. Oh, man, it makes it good. So here, let's just plate these up now. I have the ones on the back have to cook a little longer, but these ones are ready to go. Just like so. And then when they're done, give them a little sprinkle of salt. Like that. A little sprinkle of pepper. Like so. And what the heck, why don't we garnish with a little mint leaf? You know, it's all about the presentation. There we go there. And if you want to add another little burst of flavor to it, give it a little drizzle with some balsamic vinaigrette. Yum! So, there's our grilled watermelon steaks. I hope you enjoyed that. If you make any, share a picture with us, okay? Alright, I'll see you next time. I'm gonna go take care of this right now. Pretty cool, huh? You know what? I was kind of blown away with all those creative ideas featuring watermelon. Pretty cool. How about those jack-o'-lanterns too? Oh my gosh, how cool is that? I never thought of doing that with a watermelon. I might do that this Halloween. I mean, I don't know, just so unique, so pretty cool. And how about those steaks too? I'm telling you, if you haven't tried it, you gotta do it. It's delicious. It's totally delicious. And I remember one last thing to do with watermelon, especially if you have a few little cubes left over, you know. One of my favorite drinks growing up, my grandmother always made watermelon lemonade, and it is as simple as this. Make some lemonade, either fresh squeezed or, you know, the Crystal Light powdered stuff, whatever. Take chunks of watermelon, put them in the glass, and give it a quick muddle. Like, don't like squish it all up. Just kind of go like maybe once or twice, pour it over ice. It is so delicious. I'm telling you, it's really, really good. So give that a try if you want to. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed our Melon Mania Mondays with Marc tonight, because I certainly did, if you couldn't tell. I totally did. We're going to be eating watermelon for the entire week here, but that's okay, because watermelon's good for you, right? It is. So, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. I hope you try out some of these recipes or some of the crafts that our viewers did. And if you do, let me know. Shoot me a picture. Definitely, I would be so appreciative if you would hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when we have a new episode coming out. We're good for about one a day. I don't think we've skipped a day yet. I'll have to go back through the archives and see. We're pretty good for one a day, though, you know. And all of these recipes and all of these tips will be over on Facebook. I'll definitely post them there this week if you want to print them out and try them out yourself. And so if you want to check us out on Facebook, it's SmokeySteveAndMarc. You send us a friend request, I'll accept it. We're on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. We're also on the Twitter now. Our handle is SmokeySteveA. They kind of cut the ND mark off of it there because I guess it was too long. I don't know. So it's at SmokeySteveA on Twitter. And all of our contact information is below, including our P.O. box and our email address. If you have any questions on anything that was in today's video, definitely shoot me an email and I'll get back to you, hopefully with an answer. So, thank you again so much for watching. It was fantastic spending time with you tonight. Remember, everybody, please stay safe, stay well, but above all else, stay positive, okay? See you next time. All right? Ciao!